Good morning, everyone. Om Shanti. What is the meaning of Om Shanti? Okay, just close your eyes for a minute. Okay, just close your eyes. And with all your inner power, inner peace, just emerge all your peace and say Om Shanti. I am a peaceful being. Thank you. So that is the meaning of Om Shanti basically. Okay. So how's the morning today? Did you enjoy the game? Do you want to give a huge round of applause to Vikram? Yes. You all got to know each other well, spiritually. Yes. Okay. Who all are coming here for the first time? First. Okay. So most of you anyways come here. Do you like coming here? The campus? Yeah. Show some energy, people. Yes? Okay, perfect. So, shall I give a brief introduction of Brahma Kumaris? Yes, please? Okay. Someone is telling, please. So, basically, Brahma Kumari is an spiritual educational university dedicated to personal transformation and inner growth, spread across over 140 countries. And the Shanti Sarovar campus that you are sitting in is the biggest campus of South India, okay, which is spread across 34 acres. Beautiful landscape. Towards the end of the program, if you want, you can look around, see if it's not very hot, of course. Okay. And as part of Brahma Kumaris, we have various wings like business wing, sports wing, educational wing, and this is very special IT wing, which you all are part of. Every month, we organize these IT retreats program for IT people, mostly on second or third Saturday of a month. And we are very thankful to all the people who come regularly here. And to organize these programs, we invite the speakers all across the world. Okay. And today we have one person who has traveled all over from Delhi for all of you. So, are you all really excited to meet her? Yes? Okay. Let's know something about her. Dr. Aditi Singhal, co founder of Dynamic Mind Groups, is the Generation Next educationist. She is an international maths and memory trainer, author, motivational speaker, and counselor. She has, to her credit, Guinness World Record for teaching largest maths lessons and 3 records in Limca Book of Records for memory and fastest calculation. That definitely deserves a huge round of applause. Yes. Okay. She has also been rewarded as the best memory trainer by the India Book of Records. She has authored 5 best selling books: How to Become a Human Calculator based on Vedic maths, How to Memorize Anything, How to Be a Math Magician, a flip book, The Ultimate Memory Handbook for Students, Crack the Code, Maths Mysteries for All Ages. Aditi Singhal has been associated with Brahma Kumaris and has been practicing Raj Yoga meditation for the last 10 years. She is an active member of Youth Wing and Spark Wing, Research Wing of Brahma Kumaris. She is one of the experts in a special TV program for youth, Hum Honge Kamyab, where value-based solutions to youth-related programs are given. She has given a talk on one of the most prestigious world famous programs, TEDx. Of course, you all know about TEDx, right? Okay. She has over 12 years of experience in training teachers and students on mathematician, concentration, memory. She has conducted over 500 seminars and workshops nationally and internationally on various topics like success through attention management, enlightening mind and memory. There are 15 years, but I will just say so on and so forth. So, without any further ado, I would like to ask Aditi Singhal to please come upon a dais, and I would request you all to give her a huge round of applause. And we are waiting to hear from you, ma'am. Thank you so much for traveling from Delhi to Hyderabad just for us. Thank you. Let's hear from Dr. Aditi Singhal. Today's topic is building the brain of a master. Over to you.
Thank you, sister. ओम शांति. काफ़ी शांत हो गए आप सभी. ओम शांति. So good to see you all. So today's topic, building the brain of a master. Do we all feel like a master? Or we sometimes feel like we have become slaves to so many things, of our beliefs, of our habits, of gadgets. But actually, these are all our creation. So today we will explore how we can become the master, because we want to become the master or the owner of our, even the remote of our television. Yes. So why not of ourself, of our life? So let's start. When we start something, we remember Almighty, because He's the ocean of knowledge. So let's invite Him. Just sit straight. Take a deep breath. Slowly and deeply inhale. And very slowly exhale. While exhaling, just relax your body. We will do it 2 more times. Inhale, slowly and deeply, all your attention towards your breath. Exhale slowly while relaxing your body. 1 more time. Inhale and feel the positivity of this place I'm inhaling, spreading in my body. Exhale very slowly, relaxing your body as well as your mind. Now we all invite Almighty Godfather, the ocean of knowledge, to come amongst us and shower His blessings onto us. Bless us with a divine intellect, so that whatever is being shared in the session, we would be able to pay attention, grasp, understand, absorb, and feel the newness, the divine newness in ourselves. Now visualize like an actor on the stage. Almighty's spotlight is on us, and He's showering His powers. Feel the spotlight is focused on your face, and you are absorbing His power, becoming focused, present, mindful. Om Shanti. So you are all from IT, and I would like to start with a simple question. Many of you must have dealt with this. How many of you have ever dismissed one of these? You may open your eyes. Open your eyes. Yes, the question is, how many of you have ever dismissed one of these? System update available, restart required. And what most of us we do, we, we click on remind me later. And then what happens? That later becomes tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes the next week after week. Meanwhile, the system slows down, the old bugs keep coming, and we wonder why this is happening again and again. The same thing happens with our inner operating system also, right? Since 8 years old, we have been running on the same operating system inherited by parents, teachers, their beliefs, the same default reactions, the same automatic responses. And we have been postponing it many times. Somebody knocked, an update is required, let's restart. But we keep postponing it by saying, okay, we will do it. Not this time, not this time. So, but now you all have taken time for yourself, come here. Definitely, you have better things to do on this Saturday, but you chose this because you want a restart. Yes or no? You want that pause. So, today is the restart. This upgrade will not take 15 minutes, right? As it asked, it will take only 15 minutes. So it's not that in just 15 minutes you will be changed. It takes, yes, deliberate practice, and we are going to start it from today. And most important thing, that you will not lose a single thing. Otherwise, in that too, there are chances the file you may lose some of the data. But what good you have, you are going to keep it safe with you. We are here only to remove the bugs. Are you ready? And what is the need? Let me just stand, because then I can see you better and you can see me better, and then there will be, I think, more energy flow. So, why we all need this? Because knowingly, unknowingly, we all are experiencing this emotional distress. And the reason for this emotional distress is this continuous distractions, which is increasing day by day, lack of attention that we are all experiencing, not just at our workplace, but in our relationship also, in every phase of our life, right? And constant comparison due to too much on social media. And again, this is also has come in our system to always keep comparing ourselves with others. And emotionally, we are becoming weaker and weaker. So now that restart is required, and because you use AI models daily, so I'm talking in that language only. Every AI system has three major parts. One is the input, right, the training data, and then the algorithm it runs on, and then the output. And we train our AI models based on, like, we train them by giving them better inputs, by changing prompts, and then after processing they give us the output, right? But for how long we have not done any training here? We also have the same thing. Our beliefs are the training data which we have inherited since our childhood. The mental patterns that we see, observe in our life, they are the algorithms. Again, they are running on autopilot. And the life results that we see in our personal life, in our relationships, that is the output. So if the beliefs are flawed, if the algorithms are biased, no matter how hard we work, we are not going to get better outputs, right? So we need definitely a different output. तो आज हमारा जो क्वेश्चन है, the very important question is, who wrote this algorithm? Secondly, are you consciously running it or it is running you? Just ask yourself. And do we have the courage to rewrite it? So let's rewrite it. I am going to present to you a model of how this algorithm works inside. Okay? So this starts with awareness. So this is a model where the first thing is smriti. All of you understand Hindi? Anyone who doesn't understand? All understand, fine. So the session will be in English, but still if some words are in Hindi, so you are able to understand. So the first is smriti, awareness. Awareness is who I believe I am, what I believe about myself, and then about you and the world. Because the awareness which I hold inside, that will decide how I see myself. Right? The belief, the consciousness, that will decide how I see myself or how I see the world around, and that will further decide what I see in them. Is it making sense? Yes? That's why in this world, some people see good, some people see bad, some people see what? It all depends on how they are seeing it, right? Now, what I see in the world around will decide what action I'm going to take. Yes, and my actions then will create the world around me. That is my srishti, what I create and the result that I get. And that further reinforce that awareness, that smriti. And this cycle goes on. You understand? Clear? The smriti, the belief, who I am, will decide how I see. That will further decide what I see. We will explore each one of these, and that will further decide what action I will take. That will form the result, and that will reinforce the awareness. Now, what is awareness? As I told you, like who I believe I am. So when I step into my office, the awareness is different. Yes? When I step into your home, when I step into my home, when you step into your home, awareness is different, and sometimes it is not. You are the same who are in the office. Then sometimes your children reminds you, Mama, you are back home. I'm not your boss. I'm not your colleague. Right? So the awareness is different. When you move with your friends, when you step out to represent your organization, your city, your country, right? Every time the awareness matters. Now, what awareness you hold, that has an impact on what action you are going to take finally, right? So let's do one activity. I can see many young people here. Whoever feel they are very young, energetic, I would like 10 of you to come in front. Don't motivate each other. Motivate yourself and please come. Can I have the things for the activity? Okay. I want 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, you come. We have enough things. Okay, so give each one of them a balloon. Now, what the activities? You have to blow this balloon. And then make a knot. Yeah, a bit, little bigger. Good. So can anyone else do that for her? You can have another one. The other one. Sister, please give one balloon here. One more. Okay. Okay. Now what you are supposed to do, make some distance. Now hold your balloon. You are not able to tie it. Can somebody help? Okay. Now hold your balloon in the right hand like this and toothpick in the left hand. Okay? And keep it like this. Keep it like this. Okay? Are you all ready? Yeah. Fine. Understood what the instructions are? Yes? Okay. So now what the game is all about, the winner will be whose balloon will stay intact. Okay? Fine. Just start with this position. Take the position, take the position. When I will say 1, 2, 3, start, then you have to start, and the game is last tak balloon आपके हाथ में रहना चाहिए. Okay, you have to protect your balloon. Fine? Ready? 1, 2, 3, start. 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 Yeah. The person who will be the winner, who will have the balloon intact. Yes, go on. Very good. You can move anywhere. Yes. जिसका बैलून बचा रहेगा वही विनर होगा. Okay, good. Last 1 minute. Okay, very good. Okay, fine. So let's give them a big round of applause to all of them for the enthusiasm that they have shown. Now, who are the winners? Huh? Three of you are the winners. Okay, now I want to ask you, can all of you could have become winners? Good. Yeah, how? What was the instruction? It was just you have to protect your balloon till the end of the game. Did I ask anyone? The instruction was it there to prick any other's balloon? So why you started that? Huh? Thank you so much. Actually, so all of you understood, because what was the awareness? That to win, they have to lose. Others should lose, then only I can win. We all can win. Yeah, we could have, right? So that we have to understand. This, what you saw here happens everywhere. Even in IT companies, teams compete instead of collaborating. People hoard knowledge instead of sharing. Colleagues are seen as threats, as you were seeing here, not partners. And success is defined as I win when you lose. So, awareness impacts action, and belief impacts your behavior. True? So, if the awareness is this is a competition, then the action will be to attack others. If the awareness is to protect your balloon, then the action will be more focused, stability will be there, and strategy. If the awareness is others will take my credit, then the action will be we will undermine our teammates. If the awareness is if I don't outshine, I will fall behind, then the action will be I will avoid collaborations, work in silos. So what my awareness is about myself, about people around me, about the world around me, that decides what action I'm going to take. Right? So when the awareness was, if I want to win, others must fail. So everybody was trying to do what? In fact, what we saw here, they were trying to protect their balloon, but at the same time, they will try to prick others' balloon. Yes? Right? Because we want to win. तो खुद जीतना भी है लेकिन दूसरे को नीचे गिराना जरूर है. So the perception was how they perceive others as threats. The action was they attacked, they competed. The result was stress, chaos, no one wins, or maybe two, three wins. And the new awareness, again, we are coming to that model. The new awareness is yes, the world is competitive. You have to compete. But when a slight shift comes, I focus on my balloon, others focus on theirs. When with this awareness we perceive others as individuals, the action is different, the result is different, and the awareness is strengthened, the world can be collaborative. So that means a small shift in awareness changes everything. So in your workplace, that means you don't need to pull others down if you want to grow. Yes? You don't need to react to every trigger. We need to pay attention to what we need to pay attention. You don't need to mirror negativity. Your focus should be just protect your balloon, your values, your energy, your goals. Yes? So, masters are not those who control others, masters are those who control their awareness, who keep a check. What is the underlying belief with which I am looking at myself, I'm working with others, and what I am getting out of this belief? Because most of the time we work on our action, but underlying truth is that belief. Most problems are not technical. Most of the time in our IT companies, we solve complex bugs every day. But these are the bugs which are not in the system but here. Miscommunication, office politics, some or the other thing must be coming into your mind. Burnout, lack of trust. So let's see the iceberg model which we have seen earlier also, but in this aspect. Most of the time when we take trainings, we want to change in our company something as leaders, we work on action, on behavior, changing the behavior, and definitely we get results. But those results are temporary. Because as we see, the actions, they depend on what we see, how we see, and who we believe we are. Unless we change the beliefs, things are not going to change on the top. So we understood how awareness impacts action. So whatever we believe, that decides how we see, and how we see will further determine what we see. So let's see this through an activity. How I see, that determines what I see. Fine. So let's look at this. Now please give me some inputs. What can you see in this picture? Sorry? Vulture. Some insect. There are birds flying. Sorry? Pond. Water. Grass. A big bird. Right? Okay. Fine. Now, this is the second picture. What can you see? Trees. Fish. Boat. A man inside the boat. Water. Frog. Okay. Fine. You're right. You're right. But still, what can you see? What can you see? Fish. Right? Mountains. Okay. They are like looking like mountains. Okay. Now, my question is, can you see a bird here? Okay. Can you see a fish here? No. Can you see trees here? Can you see a beak here? Now, you may say yes, you may say no, and you may say it depends. Because as you all know that this is the same picture, I have not changed even a single pixel. It is just upside down, right? But yes, how we see, how we see. The moment we change how we see, what we see, that is changing, right? So the reality is the same, it remains the same, but what we see becomes different. So the key lesson is when I change the way I look at things, the things I look at change. Your boss is not going to change. Your colleagues are not going to change. Your spouse is not going to change. What you need to change if you want to see something different there? The way I look. Can I change that? Do I have control over it? So this awareness is very important, that every time something happens like that, that hurts me, that disturbs me, actually what is disturbing me? The person? What will you say? Like, let's say a situation comes, a person is shouting at you, and you are feeling very hurt, feeling very disturbed, and then you say somebody in the evening, you know, since morning I'm so disturbed because of that person. Yes, we often say. Now, my question to you is the person responsible for your mood, or the thought or the response that you create in response of that angry words or what he was saying, that was responsible for your disturbance? Hmm? So, how many of you say that situation is responsible? They can just show one finger. And how many will say, no, I am responsible? They can say two. So, intellectual audience are sitting here. All of you are saying two. Anyone? I ask again, anyone if is saying one? Okay, fine. So, let's explore this also. Yeah, there is also one more. So, let's explore. Let's say 4 of you are in a team, working in a team in your company, and some blunder happens. Because of some mistake, the company is having some loss, and your boss calls you. And he says so many things to you, he shouts at 4 of you, and he was about to fire you, but he just didn't do that. But like he did everything what he could do to make you feel bad. Now my question is, all 4 of you will feel the same? No, you all know that. Your responses will be different. Some may get angry, some may get disturbed, some may get frustrated with the boss or with themselves, right? Some may drown in sorrow, right? And some may be, it's okay, we have made mistake, that's okay, fine. It was expected. Had I been in place of my boss, I would also have done the same thing, right? So different responses, same situation. So who is creating? Who is creating? Myself, yes. So, and you know, that gives us the power. Till the time we were saying he was responsible, she was responsible, the situation was such, that means we are giving the power to the situation, to the other person, that they have the power to, they have the remote to make my mood off or on, right? But the moment I say I am responsible, so now I have the power. When I am responsible, I can check it and I can change it also. Do you have control over other people's actions? Do you have control over what your children are going to do? What they're going to say? No. So we don't even have control over them. How can we control anybody else at our office or in the world? So that's waste of energy and time to even think about how I can change them. So what I need to do, when I change the way I look at things, the things I look at change. And this is a very I would say, fundamental thing, but very powerful thing that I realized when 17 years back I came into contact with Brahma Kumaris. I will share that story a little later, like how I used to see myself, what I used to find in myself, and when I changed the way, how things changed in my life. Right? So that means it's like respect, giving respect. Respect, just break it, re plus spect. Spect means to look, re look. When you re look, actually, you can give respect to yourself, to the other person, by understanding them. Right? Okay? So, now, the first thing that the awareness in today's session, what we have learned, what we have all agreed to is my thoughts are my creation. Do you agree? All? Can I have your hands up? Raise your hands if you take this responsibility. My thoughts is my creation. Yes? Fine. Now let's move further, taking this awareness. Now, why we are talking so much about our thoughts? Because thoughts impact us and others, like in a very big way. So this is a demonstration by Dr. Masaru Emoto. He's a Japanese scientist and researcher. You might have heard about his experiments, what he has done. How many of you have heard about him? Okay, very few. So let me just show you. He wanted to find out how our thoughts, words, and feelings, they affect physical material like water. So there's a Fujiwara dam, lake at the dam in Japan. He took some samples of water from there, and he conducted various experiments by labeling them with love, with hate, and then he found the difference in the molecular structure of the water when he observed it under microscope. One experiment, which you can Google it also, I'm sharing with you what he did with water and rice. He took 3 beakers, equal size beakers, and he put equal amount of equal quality rice in each of them and put water. To the first beaker, he said, "Thank you." To the second beaker, he said, "You are an idiot." And the third beaker, he didn't say anything, he just ignored. And he continuously did that for 30 days. To the first beaker, what did he say? "Thank you." Second beaker, "You are an idiot." So after 30 days, what he observed, the first beaker, which he said thank you to, the aroma of the fermentation started coming. The second beaker, which he used to say, "You are an idiot," they turned black. And the third beaker, which he used to ignore, they started rotting. And from this experiment and many such experiments, he concluded why this happened. See, the quality of the rice and water was the same, but what was different? The words spoken to them. See, the physical material like water and rice, actually what was happening, water, it absorbs energy very fast. So when somebody is saying thank you from the heart, the feeling of gratitude, that has positive energy. So the water absorbed that positive energy and the impact of that on the rice, as you can see in the experiment. The second, when he said, "You are an idiot, you are worth nothing," when we say such words, we have, what kind of energy do we radiate? The energy of rejection, negativity, right? So that negative energy water absorbed in the kind of effect we see on rice. And third, he neglected, he ignored. Sometimes it happens na, in our office also, we ignore some people. उनसे बात करें इससे अच्छा, और परेशान हो इससे अच्छा हम उनको देखें ही ना, मुंह मोड़ के ही चले जाएं. So that also, like, we are radiating negative energy towards them. Though we are not talking, but the energy is getting radiated. And that is why the impact on the rice we saw in the third beaker. So why I'm sharing this experiment with you? Because this body is 70 to 80% made up of water. Our cells are made up of water. Whatever I'm creating here, first it's impacting my body. Yes, first it's impacting my body, then to the other person. So let's see the flow, how it impacts. Whatever I create thoughts, continuously we are creating thoughts. Even right now, you all sitting here, we all are creating thoughts. Thoughts may be positive, maybe negative, maybe necessary, maybe useless, waste thoughts, right? So, according to the thoughts, we have the feelings. Like it's just like if I spray a room freshener here, in a few minutes, somebody can smell it there also because of diffusion. In the same way, when I create the thoughts, they have energy, they get first diffused in the form of feelings in my own body. That is why even when you're not talking to anyone, you just create a thought, and uh, at that moment, you sometimes, if it is a positive thought, creative thought, you feel that happiness flowing in your body. And if it is a negative thought, you may feel anxiety, right? So that feeling first, it affect my body. And if the feeling is continuous, a negative feeling is continuous, it may be towards myself, it may be towards the world around or some people, then the easiness when it goes here, it manifests into a disease in the body. Because when I'm creating negative, what is happening inside trillions of cells in my body? What we saw in that water experiment. They started rotting. In the same way, my cells, something like that is happening inside each cell of my body, which we cannot see, right? But actually, it gets manifested into disease. That is why, if we break up the disease word, it is dis plus ease. When the easiness is disturbed, I'm developing that disease. And when our reports show some kind of disease, actually, it was happening long back. It started happening in our body long back. Very late, it gets shown in our report. So, impact on the body, then impact on on the people about whom we are creating, about the work what we are doing in our relationships also. I would like to share an example with you, a real example. 2 years back, I was going to Mount Abu by train, and in our like that place, there in front of me there was a mother traveling with her son, 10, 11 years old, and she was too conscious about his health. Please, please wear the cap. And it was April month. You can understand how warm it is, hot it is. But and inside the train, it was very comfortable. But repeatedly, she was saying, "Please wear your socks, wear your cap, do this." So I just said, the temperature is okay. Your son is also fine. Why are you insisting him again and again to do this? Overprotective. So she said, no, you don't know, na, because last year, 8 months he couldn't go to school because he has sinus problem and he has this that, and he catches infection very fast. And I am single mother. I am on job also. We are going back to our home Ahmedabad, and tomorrow after reaching the next day I have to join the job, and I don't want him to get sick. Otherwise everything, he has to take leave, I have to take leave, and things will be like this. And she had tears in her eyes little bit. So I said, okay, fine, I understand. The person who has suffered so much, definitely she will take that kind of precaution. But and then some phone also comes. She was telling the same story to, I think she was her mother whom she was talking to. Anyway, after 5 minutes, the child starts crying. And he said, Mummy, I'm not feeling well. And and she said, just see, the fever has come. So I touched him. I said, really? इसको तो तेज बुखार लग रहा है. एक बुखार तो होगा. So I said, okay, then because we practice meditation, so I said, okay, now let's focus on what we need to do, right? And she started crying. I was fearing this only, and this has happened. Now what will I do? I said, okay, fine. So I asked the child, would you do meditation with me? So he said very happily, yes, auntie, I will do. So I said, okay. So, and immediately he folded his legs and sit straight as if he knew how to do meditation. I said, okay, I will give you some thoughts. You just have to think about them. You have to visualize. Okay, nothing else. We will do 2-minute meditation. He very excitedly he said. I just gave him a little commentary, just some thoughts that you are child of Almighty, you are absolutely healthy, the blessings of Almighty are coming, the way we did in the starting, in the beginning. And the rays are coming, entering your body, inside your cells, they are healing, you are getting healthy, your temperature is absolutely okay. I had just spoken 1 minute or so, and he started laughing. I opened my eyes. I thought the child is too small to understand all this, I think. So I said, "Why are you laughing?" "Auntie, I'm okay now. Just touch me." Our mummy was double excited. She said, "Yes, now he's okay." So she said, "You are a magician." I said, "No, I am not a magician. I just gave him positive thoughts. The magic was in his belief. The magic was what he visualized. Because he was just 10 years old, no such layers were there, no tightness was there, and he accepted the moment I said, "You will be okay." And he accepted, he visualized, and actually that started happening inside his body. And what earlier has happened, the same thing. When mother was explaining me about the illness, he also started visualizing that. When the mother was explaining to some other person on phone and was anxious about the son's health, he was actually visualizing getting ill. And that what he manifested in just 5 minutes, and how in another 5 minutes he was okay. So how our thoughts, they impact our body, our relationships, about the people about whom we are thinking, right? So our thoughts have power. And first, awareness that we have understood that I am the creator of my thoughts. I am creating it for myself, for others, about the situation. So if I am creating and I can take the charge, if I can be the master, then what kind of thoughts should I create? Irrespective of the situation, irrespective of what is happening to me, because I know the power of my thoughts. So, powerful thoughts. So, my thoughts impact my body and my world around, the small world around me, right? So, my thoughts have the power, in fact, to heal also. I would like to show you this video. Can we have the volume? A bit.
Well, my story begins on March 10, 1981. It really changed my whole life. It was a day I'll never forget. I crashed an airplane. I ended up in the hospital completely paralyzed. My spinal cord was crushed. I broke the first and second cervical vertebrae. My swallowing reflex was destroyed. I couldn't eat or drink. My diaphragm was destroyed. I couldn't breathe. All I could do was blink my eyes. The doctor, of course, said all my life I'd be a vegetable. All I'd do is blink my eyes the rest of my life. That's the picture they saw of me, but it didn't matter what they thought. The main thing was what I thought. I pictured myself being a normal person again, walking out of that hospital. The only thing I had to work with in the hospital was my mind. As long as you have your mind, you can put things back together again. I was hooked to a respirator, and they said I'd never breathe on my own again because my diaphragm was destroyed. But this little voice kept saying to me, "Breathe deep, breathe deep." Finally, I was weaned from it. They were at a loss for an explanation. See, I could not afford to allow anything to come in my mind that would distract me from my goal and from my vision. Well, I set a goal to walk out of the hospital on Christmas. That was my goal. Eight months later, I walked out of the hospital on my own 2 feet. They said it couldn't be done. That's a day I will never forget. For people that are sitting out there right now watching this program that are hurting, if I wanted to sum up my life and sum up for people what they can do in life, I would sum it up this way in 6 words. Man becomes what he thinks about.
Man becomes what he thinks about. That's the power of our thoughts. And if we can create powerful thoughts with so much of conviction, with so much of belief, it produces that energy that we can create or make impossible possible, as we have just seen. I would like to show you one more example, the power of visualization. Whatever we think, knowingly, unknowingly, we visualize, and especially with the thought that we are convinced about. Sometimes what we do the opposite. We create positive thoughts consciously, but internally we are visualizing the negative ones. And that then we say, in spite of creating positive thoughts, I always get negative. Why? Because again, we are changing at the level of action, the action that we are taking. We are creating positive thoughts consciously, but underlying belief is still that I won't be successful. And we are continuously visualizing our failure, and that is what we get. But on the opposite, if we can visualize our success, I will share the science behind that, but let's first understand this example. For thousands of years, it was believed that a human being cannot run a mile in less than 4 minutes. They tried their level bet, the athletes all over the world, but nobody could do that unless Roger Bannister, who was the first person to cross a mile, to run a mile in less than 4 minutes. And when he could do that, the amazing thing was that in that particular year, only 37 more athletes across the world could do that. And even more amazing thing was that in the next 3 years, 200 more athletes could do that. And then there was a research team set up to research on it, that what is happening. Are the athletes, they're changing, some genes have changed, or some mutation has happened, or some lifestyle changes, practice changes, what they are doing actually, that so many people are able to do what once it was considered it is beyond human potential. So they interviewed all those 200 athletes, and they found almost the same answer. They said that earlier we used to believe that a human being cannot run a mile in less than 4 minutes. But when Roger Bannister could do that, when we saw him, then a new belief developed inside us, and keeping that target and with that conviction, we started practicing again, and we could achieve that. So when they reached Roger Bannister and they asked him, for others, they got the motivation, the inspiration from you when they saw you, but you never saw anyone. From where you get that energy? Right? So from where you could do the impossible. He said, I have seen myself running a mile in less than 4 minutes thousands of times in my imagination. I always used to live that moment. I used to visualize the gunshot, and we all started running, and I'm running faster than my competitors, and that stopped for 3 minutes, few seconds, 3 minutes, few seconds, and I'm crossing the finishing line in the record time. I'm on the shoulders of other people, celebrating the moment. The medal is in my neck, and I made the record. I used to live that moment so many times, thousands of times, that when I actually did that, it was not difficult. I never felt that I'm doing it for the first time. Now you might think that, okay, positive thinking, definitely it आपके उस मनोबल को बढ़ाता है, it enhances your mind power, but how can the body power can be increased, right? How that can change, how your mind power can be converted into your physical power. So the science behind that is brain cannot differentiate whether you are imagining something or actually doing it. Brain cannot differentiate. Have you ever, it has happened with you that you were just sitting idle, doing nothing important, but then all of a sudden you got like reminded of something that happened 5 years back, 7 years back, something tragic, or when you were humiliated, or some sad event of your life. And then detail by detail, when you went in, you visualized that, and you started feeling the same uneasiness, the anger, the hatred, the same kinds of feelings, and sometimes tears come into your eyes, right? That event has happened 5 years back, maybe more than that. You're absolutely normal now, no connection with that. But how are you experiencing all this? Because your brain cannot differentiate whether it is actually happening to you or you are just imagining it. So can we use this power of brain to visualize and attain our goals in a positive manner, right? If I can think of something negative of the past, can I create something positive for my future? It's all in my mind. Whatever I say through my mind, my brain will catch those vibrations and convert them by releasing such kind of neurotransmitters which allow or program my body to perform in a particular manner. And that is why we call brain is a tathastu machine. Whatever you say to brain, it just says tathastu. Or have you heard about it? Do you practice it? Actually, every moment the brain is saying tathastu to you. If you say on Saturday, okay, there is a session, I don't think so, I won't be able to make it. Brain says tathastu. Actually, the moment you think about it, things will start happening like that. And the moment you say, oh wow, there's a session, I was supposed to go somewhere, but I think I will manage. Tathastu. So every moment what you are creating, the brain is saying tathastu, and especially if you're saying it with conviction, with confidence. Tathastu. So many of the athletes all across the world, in fact not many, I would say now it is a compulsory part of their training, visual training, to visualize before their game. Sachin Tendulkar also, when asked about when he made the 100th century, so he was asked the secret behind his success. He said this only, that 80% time I do physical training, but 20% time I do mental training. Before every match I visualize every ball coming to me and how I am batting it. So if visual training, mental training is required for them to succeed, if we can also try it on a daily basis, we can also attract success. So visualize your goals. And I would say our brain supports. And this is the property of the brain. One, it cannot differentiate. Second, why this is happening? Because of the property of the brain that is called neuroplasticity. Our brain is plastic. Whatever we are thinking, whatever we are doing, our brain is changing its structure all the time according to our thoughts and action. And that is the basis of all our learnings. Example, right now you are paying attention to what I am saying, right? Now, if you are fully attentive, attention is the gate. You have opened the gate for all what I am saying to enter your brain. And how will you say that yes, it has entered my brain? Because my brain, whatever you are listening, whatever you're seeing, if you are paying attention, you are doing it with focus, then though that information is getting registered in your brain in the form of neural networks. आपके ब्रेन में वो सेल्स, वो न्यूरॉन्स पाथवेज बन रहे हैं, बनना शुरू हो गए हैं. And that is why when you learn something for the first time, you find little difficult, you need more attention. The process has to be little slow, but once you repeat, you get used to it, it becomes your habit. Right? The learning is stronger. So the more you pay attention to something, the better, the stronger are the neural circuits. The more you repeat the process, the stronger they become. And the stronger the neural circuits become, the longer you retain it in your memory. That is why you are asked to repeat, practice. No matter how well you have understood, but you are going to forget if you don't practice. Because that pathway, that network that has been built, it has to be made stronger. Okay, so this is the property of brain that is actually allowing you to learn since your childhood. And earlier it was believed that a human brain cannot do this after a particular age. But now science also has proven this, that till your last breath, neuroplasticity is taking place in your brain. So you can learn more and more till the last breath of your life. So we should not stop it. We should not say it now, it's my age now. The brain will say tathastu. Okay? And this is how habits are made. What are habits? Where we don't have to make an effort. Auto mode. In spite of us trying not to do this, out of habit we do that. We didn't want to speak, but somehow I couldn't control because of my habit. बाकी सब मैं चुप रह सकती हूँ, झूठ नहीं सुन सकती because of my habit. Right? Some habits are good, but some hold us back. So now we are going to talk about those habits, how to, because habits are also what? I would say the strong wirings that have been done in our brain. So whether the habits are bad, scrolling at night, drinking, smoking, we try to quit them, but we are not able to. Or the good habits, getting up early in the morning, doing exercise, taking nutritious food, all these, once it is a habit, then it goes on auto mode. Now we want to get rid of all those habits which are bad. We have to make an effort. We have to connect it with something so that we can make them into positive habits. We all want that, isn't it? Isn't it? So this neuroplasticity of brain helps. Whatever you repeat, let's understand by this diagram. Now our brain is like this. The first picture, as you can see, a grassland. But when we start walking on it on a particular path again and again, a rough patch, a pathway, it starts developing, right? And the more we walk on it, go through it, others also start walking on it, it becomes, the movement becomes easier. The passage becomes clearer. And let's say if on that, we place the concrete and all that, then the movement becomes easier. Easier and easier and faster and faster. So it's like when we do the thing for the first time, then it is a bit difficult, it is a bit slower. We have to do with dedication, conviction, make effort, right? We have to convince ourselves for that. But yes, again and again we repeat it, and the faster we repeat it, the passage becomes easier. The brain makes it easier for you. Any habit. How do you get addicted? That is what next, like habits, whether bad or good. Now let's say if you want to develop good habits. Now as we have seen through that example, within 1 week of practice, whatever good or bad, whatever you practice for 1 week, new connections start growing into your brain. Within 8 weeks, observable changes can be seen in the brain. And new positive habits can be created with consistency, with practice. Any habit. और जितनी भी हमारी आदतें हैं आज दिन तक की, वो सब ऐसे ही डेवलप हुई हैं, knowingly or unknowingly. That is why you must have heard this. If you want to get up in the morning, go for gym, please, with conviction, do it for 21 days. At least in 21 days, your brain will start supporting it. And then you automatically will develop that habit that, yeah, I have to get up. Less or more, whatever you do, but you will get up. Right? And then definitely with adding on 1, 2, 3 steps, within 7 to 8 weeks, it becomes a deep habit. Have you ever wondered why some habits seem so hard to break? Even when you know they are not good for you. We all have experienced. We have all have done hard work on our bad habits. But still, after some time, we get back to the old routine. Why this is happening? Because the moment we are distracted, before that habit has been ingrained in us, we get distracted and it again we fall into that. So what we are required to do, this negative impact of neuroplasticity, because our brain is value neutral. It says tathastu to even good things and bad things also. The neuroplasticity is working all the time for the good habits also and for the bad habits also. Now, what is the negative impact if we don't take care of ourselves? These changes in physical structure of the brain and brain chemistry, these lead to addictions. We all know about the dopamine secretion. The moment, like when we watch a reel, we scroll, what we get? Instant dopamine. That makes us feel good, as if we have achieved something. And actually, it is not a good feel hormone. I would say it is an anticipation hormone. The moment we see the next title, in the anticipation of getting even something better, it is already secreted and we click. And we keep on doing it, and the more we do it, what happens? Now, longer we have to watch it to get the same amount of dopamine. And that's how we keep, that gadget keep us hooked. So, that physical structure, because your dopamine is getting released, your brain, that neural networks are being formed so deep, now even if you want to stop watching it, you won't be able to. And most of the youth today are struggling this only. It is not that they don't want to get rid of this habit, but they're not able to. They don't have the a pathway out to come out of that. The more you consume tiny bits of information, the more you watch reels, the more you scroll, the harder it gets to absorb larger pieces of information. That is why attention span is getting smaller and smaller, because our brain is getting wired like that. The more time you spend on these social media, playing online games, harder it gets to move away from them and focus on your task and on studies. That's why studies or learning some task feels boring. There is also dopamine secretion, but after doing lot of hard work. और वो हार्ड वर्क करने का मन नहीं करता. इंस्टेंट चाहिए, फास्ट चाहिए, अभी चाहिए. दैट इज वाई वो हैबिट्स नहीं जा रही हैं, क्योंकि इतना टाइटली वायर्ड हो गया हमारा ब्रेन. बट डोंट बी डिसहार्टेंड. इफ यू बिगिन टू क्रिएट द न्यू एक्टिविटी, आप चेंज करना चाहते कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि नाउ यू नो द साइंस, how it got wired, how we can rewire it. So if you begin to create this new activity of keeping your mobile phone on silent mode while you are working or studying, उसको दूसरे कमरे में रखने की आदत डालिए, कुछ दिन डालिए, वो पाथवे क्रिएट होना शुरू हो जाएगा, and you will be able to focus on your studies without the phone also. Let's say you have to identify the trigger. What triggers you? Sometimes we have made such strong associations. I give you an example, like whenever we feel bored, let's say you take the phone and start scrolling. Now boredom is the trigger. Whenever you feel bored, you take the phone and start scrolling, and then you have taken it for 5 minutes, and where the 1 hour has gone, it's a usual routine, and you want to get rid of it. So you have to identify what is the trigger. Trigger is the boredom. You have to find some substitute for your boredom now. Let's say you may associate it. This is called neuroassociative conditioning. You associate your boredom with maybe a walk, maybe a stretching exercise, maybe going to the window and looking outside. Something. Associate it for a few days. Whenever I will feel bored, I will do this. Now this new conditioning will start deepening, and the old conditioning, the wiring will get weakened. with time. And then when this association will be strong, the moment you will feel bored, you will be reminded of that task, not of the phone. But you have to make some association with that. First, you have to find out the trigger, then you have to associate it and do it. So, neuroplasticity, I would say it is a mechanism through which every conscious thought, every focused action, every moment of practice physically builds the brain of a master you wish to become. आप जो आदतें चाहते हैं, जो लक्ष्य पाना चाहते हैं अपनी लाइफ में, वो सब कुछ पा सकते हैं अगर आप मास्टर बन के अपने ब्रेन को कमांड करें तो. And this is called self-directed neuroplasticity. We are talking about self-directed change that we want to bring about in our life, being the brain, master of the brain. So this is called self-directed neuroplasticity. Here, two qualities of the brain come in function. One, brain cannot differentiate whether you are imagining it or you are actually doing it, plus the property of neuroplasticity. Your brain is changing all the time, whatever, with your visualization, right? So, like the way Roger Bannister visualized running a mile in less than 4 minutes, thousands of times, repeatedly. So what happened in his brain? Those pathways become stronger, and when he actually did it physically, it became easier and easier for him. Because brain cannot differentiate, and the brain is changing all the time each time he visualized. So let's say you have to give a presentation and you are not very confident about it, but just visualize you are walking with confidence, you're looking into eyes of the audience, you are speaking flawlessly, everything is coming in the flow, you're holding the mic with confidence. See your performance again and again with full positivity, and that visualization without your actually doing the performance will create those pathways of that performance beforehand, and when you will actually do it, your brain will find it familiar. अदरवाइज क्या होता है, घबराहट होती है कोई नया काम करते हुए. नया काम करने से पहले उसको बार बार इतनी बार कर लीजिए, जब आप एक्चुअल में करेंगे यू विल फील वेरी कंफर्टेबल एज इफ यू हैव डन इट मेनी टाइम्स बिफोर. So that's self-directed neuroplasticity, because brain cannot differentiate and plasticity builds such kind of neural circuits. So this is the biological capacity of the brain given to us by nature to become the best we can become. But key is the practice. And what is practice? Repeating an activity with focused attention. You may note it down. What is practice? We sometimes feel repeating a task is practice. No. Repeating a task with focused attention. No matter how many times you read that page, sometimes it happens we again we read, but because our attention is not there, nothing is going inside. But when we pay full attention and we read the same page maybe the other day, some other day, and with full attention, at once it gets into our brain. It's just a matter of attention. So with focused attention, when we repeat something, that is practice. And if you want to work and grow, the most important resource you need to safeguard in today's world is your attention. And why paying attention is important? Because what we pay attention to and what we ignore shapes our moment by moment experience. है ना, हम किसी भी चीज में किस चीज पर ध्यान दे रहे हैं, that makes our experience. Understood? Right? So I am the master of my attention. अपने आप को बार बार कहिए, दिखाइए, विजुलाइज. I am the master of my attention. I choose what to ignore, what to pay attention to. So pay attention on taking the positive inputs. We have everything around us, positive also, negative also. Please take your attention towards the positive things. I would like to ask you or reflect, what are the positive things since morning that you can share with yourself? Okay, it may be, I just give you some hint what you can think about. Don't thank my body, nature. Yeah, you should be thankful, but right now I am asking for some different things. Like let's say you learned something new, Be thankful for that. In today's session also, if there is something, you may thank. You read or heard a good thing. You saw virtue in someone. You feel grateful for something. You achieved a goal, big or small. You did something good for others or something like that. Fine. So just I am giving you a minute. Think about it. Since morning, what are the things you can be thankful for, grateful for? Can be something else also, just to give you an idea. I think must be many things coming. Okay. Now do one thing. Share at least 2 things with the person sitting beside you. At least 2 things what you are grateful about since morning. You can talk to him. If you have nobody besides you, you can just walk also to the other person and so I know you want to speak more. We are going to give you a break within 5 minutes and then you can share more with more people. But how are you feeling? Good? Feeling different than the routine? Most of the time, what we keep thinking about? The bugs, the problems, right? But now our attention shifted there. So I would request you to make a happiness journal from today. And please, before you sleep, please write at least 3 things you are grateful about. And if you can write more, then that's definitely your creativity. Okay? So, how many of you feel that you are ready to make a happiness journal? A separate journal, not that daily diary में अच्छा पीछे लिख लिया, लेकिन हाँ एक separate. You will do that? Okay, good, good. So attention on taking the positive inputs, increasing your productivity. We are just going to do 2 minutes activity, then I'm going to give them a break. Yes, it's okay. So increasing your productivity. Today we all are multitaskers. Yes, all the time doing multitasking, and we believe that it is a must. Yes, but I'm going to share with you that it's not must, it's a myth. A human brain cannot multitask. But you will say, no, we do multitask. We do so many things while writing an email, while chatting on social media, while eating food, and while speaking to the other person. We can comfortably do many things. But actually, what you are doing is you are not multitasking because our brain cannot focus. Our cognitive function can focus only on one thing at a time. But what we are effectively doing is switching tasks. And we are experts at that. We are doing it very efficiently, no doubt, right? But what it is actually doing to us, I would like one of you who is ready to volunteer for a small activity. Anyone? Yeah, please. So, what the activities? What's your name?
Surya.
Surya. Welcome. So, can we have a round of applause for raising her hand and coming here for doing this activity? Yes, Surya, what your job is, I'm showing you this word. What it is?
No, it's numbers from 1 to 12.
It's written multitasking and then 1 to 12 counting. So the spelling you already know, multitasking. 1 to 12 also you know. So what you are supposed to do, you have to spell out multitasking first and then 1 to 12 counting secondly. Fine? In front of others.
multitasking, multitasking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Great. Thank you, Surya. Now you have to do the same task but in a different manner. How? See, now you have to do like, read it like this: M1, U2, L3, right? Okay.
M1, U2, L3, T4, I5, T6, A7, K8, I9, N10, then sorry, somewhere I missed something because this way it was, we are not
Okay.
used to.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Surya. It was really great. Okay, but I would like to ask you in which one you were more comfortable. I think it was quite
We
obvious.
go from left to right, no?
Okay.
Even Urdu is from right to left. That also is
Okay.
difficult for me.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, please. A big round of applause. She tried her level best and did very good. Now, let's understand what was happening when she was switching. Actually, the earlier version was when she was doing monotasking, one task at a time. She was reading the spelling and then the numbers. So it was simple because we are used to do that. But in the second time, what she was doing, she was actually switching from letter to number, number to letter, letter to number, number to letter, letter to number. And every time she has to switch, she has to spend more brain power to make that cognitive switch. Right? So more energy was consumed. That is why she was taking time. Her more focus was there. Still, there was little mistake. And this was a simple task. Just a small word. Had it been a long sentence, you would have understood how many mistakes, right? And what we have been doing, we are doing actually this to our brain. When she was doing one task, her brain was able to focus like this. But when she was switching from task 1 to 2, this gray part, that was the wasted brain power. So much of energy is getting wasted. And that is what we are doing to our brains all the time. I'm writing an email, but while writing, I just switch to the person whom I'm talking to. And when I come back, so much of energy. This is called brain switching penalty. Every time I'm making a switch, the brain has to pay that penalty in the form of that energy. And that is why आज हम थके हुए हैं. हम काम से नहीं थक रहे हैं. फिजिकल काम से नहीं थक रहे हैं, मन से थक रहे हैं क्योंकि बहुत ज़्यादा चला रहे हैं. And this I realized because I used to think that I am a very good multitasker 6 years back. But when I wrote my sixth book, How to Improve Concentration, and during the COVID time, and I read many studies about multitasking and concentration, how it is impacting my memory power and all that, I realized what blunder I am doing to myself, to my brain. Right now, I'm able to manage, but yes, with time, what is going to happen? I'm damaging my brain. And then I understood, I shifted to monotasking, and believe me, I'm saving a lot of energy. I'm more focused, more energetic. You may spend, let's say, doing 4 tasks in 10 minutes when you are multitasking. You may spend 12 minutes if you do one at a time. But after those 10 minutes, you are so tired to take another task. But when you are monotasking, even if you are taking 12 minutes, you are still energetic to take 4 more tasks. Okay. So monotasking, switch to that. Context switching, it kills up to 80% of productive time. And multitasking, it is reducing your IQ, EQ, leading to stress, reducing your productivity, and increases the chances of errors. So one task at a time. Please inculcate this in your life if you really want to safeguard your attention and improve your focus and memory. And then physical exercise, healthy diet, sleep. I'm not going to talk much about it, but please focus on your basics also. And then attention on harnessing your potential. And that we can do by self-empowering ourselves through meditation. जिसके बारे में हम सेकेंड हाफ में और बात करेंगे. हमने ब्रेन के बारे में ज़्यादा बात करी है फर्स्ट हाफ में. बट ब्रेन को कौन कमांड करेगा? हमारा मन. और मन को कौन कमांड करेंगे? हम. So knowing about the self and the power of our mind in the second half, I hope you are enjoying, having a good time. So have even good time at the break also. Sister will share about that.